Hi guys, Bran here, and welcome to another commentary video. Today, I wanted to talk something a little bit on the flip side. We've had a lot of conversations in the past week or so talking about, like, killer things. A lot of killer things. That's the majority thing that's going to be happening on this channel still. I play killer 80% of the time and survivor 20% of the time, so, that split is going to be relatively the same on the YouTube channel. But a lot of people were saying stuff like, oh, well, you never talk about, like, your least favorite perks to face as a survivor or any survivor problems. But I do have one thing. That I consistently hate in terms of a killer perk that I face as survivor that I absolutely hate. And it's not going to be a unanimous one. This is going to be less of an objective one. But I guess that's why it's interesting. Because there's probably tons of people who complain of, like, Ruin and Dying. Pain Resonance and Deadman's. A lot of people complain about Pain Resonance and Deadman's. So you're going to hear that a lot. And you probably hear that a lot from people who actually main Survivor and do all that stuff. But there is one perk that I absolutely hate that is, it gets on my nerves every time I have to deal with it, and I think it's worse than you think. So the perk that I hate the most to face as Survivor is Starstruck. I think Starstruck is one of the laziest perks in the game, and it also is tremendously frustrating and painful when you play it against a very, very good killer or a very, very good killer character. So Starstruck, if you don't know, is when you pick somebody up off the ground that you've downed and you pick them up, people within your terror radius gain the exposed status effect for a period of time. There are tons and tons and tons of ways to apply exposed inside of the game, all of which are hard to obtain, whether that be Myers stalking, Ghostface stalking, whether it be perks like Dragon's Grip or Devour Hope. All of these things take a while to get going, but when you finally get them, they result in a snowball if you play your cards right. And that is a fair reward because they take so long for you to get the actual effect, because it's so hard to get them to go off, or it takes a lot of time for those effects to go off that grant that exposed situation. And that is where I come to Starstruck, where the only prerequisite to get people exposed is to pick people up where there are other people around. Yep, that's all you gotta do. You have to pick somebody up while somebody else is around. That's it. That's all it takes to apply exposed to somebody with Starstruck. Now imagine that situation if you're playing, say, Nurse or Spirit. Somebody who can get to all of those players super quickly. This perk is a nightmare for me to face, and I absolutely hate it. And even if you're in the situation that, oh, well, I wasn't outside the terror radius, if at any point you walk back into the terror radius while they're carrying the survivor to the hook, bam, you get exposed as well. So you literally have to clear that area entirely where that carry is happening and just do nothing. Like, literally do nothing. You have to evacuate the area and just, like, take no part in what's happening over there as survivor until that hook happens, or else you're just going to get exposed. I think this is especially frustrating for me because one of the things I'm actually not too terrible with in terms of survivor is the ability to go for a safe save, because I see it all the time as killers, people going for unsafe saves. So it's, like, made me mad enough that, like, when I play survivor, I try not to, like, farm people as much as possible and go for very, very secure saves. And one of the ways I do that is by sticking close to where they're about to be hooked, and then waiting for the killer's terrorists to, like, dissipate, and then unhooking them relatively quickly so they don't spend a lot of time on hook. I can get that heal done as quick as possible. The killer won't spot me because they don't expect me to be, like, near the hook where because, like, unless they physically see me there, like, why would I be running near the killer or be around near the killer, But Starstruck kind of, like, shoots that in the foot, because it's like, if I try to do that, I get exposed, right? So now, even if I do get found, usually it's just a hit. Now with Starstruck, I just die, right? Like, I get down all the way just for trying to go for a safe save, which is frustrating. Same thing with flashlights. Flashlights is one of the few fun things in the game for Survivor, because basically what's fun for Survivor in the game is chases and flashlights, because everything else is basically holding M1, and it's pretty boring. It's a pretty boring affair, which is why it's 80-20 for me. Why I only play Survivor 20% of the time. So flashlights are one of the only other ways to actually, like, have, at least in my opinion, a lot of fun with Survivor, because it's like, it's something active, it's something that's literally, it's countering the killer directly and their ability to hook people. It also takes a lot of skill to pull off. Nope. If you try to go for that, bam, exposed. So you are in a situation where if they can get to you, bam, dead. Just because you're trying to go for something fun. So it cancels out so much of the fun gameplay that survivors have, and there's so little fun gameplay for a survivor. So little already. So now on top of that, you're not allowed to go for flashlight saves when somebody has Starstruck. Cool, great, awesome. And it creates this situation with just as similarly as if, like, you know, Myers had a tier 3 up. Because when Myers has tier 3 up, most of the survivors play a lot more carefully and a lot more immersed because they don't want to get clocked by the insta down from tier 3 because of the exposed status effect. So it kind of creates this same situation that until Starstruck's timer runs out, a lot of people are just kind of playing super duper carefully and like very, very tediously, and it slows the game down to a halt until that expose goes away. And like, at least with Myers, he's only in tier 3 for a short period of time, but like, I don't think the cooldown on Starstruck, like, unless the killer is being like super duper efficient, like, like even like really comes into play all that much. So essentially, like, you keep having these like continual like points in the game where you kind of gotta just like stop playing or start playing super carefully and boringly until that goes away. And like 30 seconds is a long time to be exposed. That's a long time to be exposed. That's a long time to just sit there ready to be insta downed. And back to loop it back to the beginning of the video. What caused this? What caused this situation to begin with? Oh, I picked somebody up as killer. That's what I did. I picked someone up as killer, and now everybody in the team has to like slink around because I picked somebody up. That's it. Because I picked someone up. That is just how is that like? Ugh. It's just so frustrating. It's like you know, we can talk until the cows come home about like pain resonance, about ruin, but like in terms of like Perk, I just find frustrating and annoying to face. Starstruck takes the cake every single time. Yeah, thank you so much for listening to me rant about Starstruck. I hate this perk so much. I hate it more than I hate most things. It's just frustrating. It's annoying. It's a thorn in the side. It's a thorn that grows into a whole bush, and all those thorns are also stabbing you. It's awful. It's terrible, and I hate this perk so much. So thank you for listening to me rant about it, though. I appreciate you so much for spending time with me today. I do upload daily, so hopefully I will see you tomorrow. But if I don't, I will see you when I see you, friends. Goodbye.